And for more on this, I want to bring in Moeed Yusuf. He is the Associate Vice President of the Asia Center at the U.S. Institute of Peace. Thank you so much for joining us. We saw what was happening at the UN with the war of words. We're also seeing military exercises. So what do you think will come out of this? These two countries have been there before, but could this lead to something bigger?
One hopes not. Look, I mean, when you get to this situation, the risks are so high that you can never rule out an inadvertent escalation to a crisis. I mean, they've been to crisis at least 3 times in the past 15 years or so. The last one being when the Mumbai attacks in 2008 took place and, they got to an air war situation. I think it's really posturing. The moment for the military strike, if there was one, is gone. It's literally the first day or two. Both sides have military forces which can actually defend in a way that neither gains by going for a use of force option. At the end of the day, that's probably the best we can hope for, but I don't see them backing off because if either one goes first or blinks first, I think the other gains a symbolic victory, and that's what South Asia has been about for so long.
These two countries also have nuclear weapons. It's something that's been talked about. Could this ever escalate? Could these two countries go into war?
I don't want to think about it because what comes after that is quite horrific. One of the things that we've found so far is that short of war, they know how to control the situation. Once you get into a war situation, neither side has ever managed or had an opportunity to see how to control it. Once you're in war, the fog of war hits, anything can go wrong. And part of the problem is the entire world descends on India and Pakistan and says, don't do this, don't go to war. But only in the crisis moment. Once the crisis is over, everybody goes about their business, forgets about it till the next crisis. And the key is to find a way not to allow these countries to get to this point. Because once they're there, as I said, the risks are simply too high with nuclear weapons in the mix.
Narendra Modi, Nawaz Sharif, they have a personal relationship. There was a lot of optimism at one point. Modi even went to Sharif's house just 8 or 9 months ago. What's the status of their relationship? And could the two of them bring down the tensions?
To be very honest, I don't think they have one. The relationship is better than what most expected in the beginning because Modi has a hardline view on Pakistan, etc. But since that visit that you mentioned, I mean, he coming to Lahore, things have gone down and things have gone south very, very quickly. This particular incident and the war of words, it's Modi and Nawaz Sharif. So you can see very clearly that this is coming from the very top. And once the situation gets so dicey, I think the kind of relationship that these two have cannot overshadow the kind of situation that they're in. India and Pakistan, remember, 70 years, wars, nuclear weapons. A relationship can take you only that far. It may not get you, it may not get the countries to war. But short of that, I think they've really got to work on their issues. And that's where the biggest weakness is. They keep talking about it. Terrorism, no resolution at all. You have a crisis. You go back to saying, yeah, we'll talk about it. Nothing happens. Kashmir, both sides, yeah, we want to resolve it. You don't get there. So I think unless you get to the specific issues of Kashmir and terrorism, I think you're going to keep falling into this trap of crises, worrying about a nuclear war, pulling back, and then unfortunately falling back into it.
All right. Well,